Hello and welcome to the 2021 French GP strategy analysis for the Haas team. Looking at a comparison of strategy between the drivers, position movements throughout the race, and their race pace. Let's dig in. So looking at a strategy comparison, complete opposite strategy here from the team. So Schumacher starting on the mediums, then going on to the hard. Pretty middle of the road pit stop, pretty much in line with how other people were pitting. And then looking at Mazepin, much longer, obviously going on the hard tire and then switching across to the medium. And if we have a look at the positions here, nothing too exciting, admittedly. So Schumacher getting overtaken quite a bit at the start there on the first lap, and then falling actually behind Mazepin for quite some time there. And then Mazepin coming up to 16th until then. Quite a few people coming through after that first pit stop and overtaking, and then Schumacher in the end was able to stay ahead of Mazepin. So let's have a dig into the race pace here, and quite an interesting tale. So Schumacher is ahead if it's up here, and Mazepin ahead if it's down here. Schumacher initially having the lead, but then mistake of some form here, I believe, given the significant drop, and then Mazepin being ahead and Schumacher catching up, but then not consistently there. So it could have been the medium tyre starting to go off a little bit. Then the pit stop, and you can see once that pit stop happens, Schumacher does a great job catching up quite a bit of the time there. Then once Mazepin pits, Mazepin's a bit quicker for a while, for 6 or 7 laps there, and then tyres equalize a little bit. Remembering Mazepin's on the medium and Schumacher's on the hard here, and definitely the older tyre for Schumacher. And then right towards the end, probably the medium going off a little bit for Mazepin, Schumacher really jumping ahead up quite a significant amount there. So if we look at the actual lap times, here you can see Schumacher with this very slow lap at the start there, which let Mazepin get past. And then Schumacher actually had quite a slow pit stop as well, compared to some other people. And Mazepin there, you can see about a second and a half gap. And then once Schumacher put that new tyre on, much quicker than Mazepin. And as we saw, Mazepin, once he had that new tyre as well after his pit stop, a little bit quicker than Schumacher, but not nearly as much. And then right at the end there, Mazepin's times really started to go slow. And again, at this stage of the race, often the back markers having to follow blue flags for the leaders or the mid-pack can definitely have quite a bit of an impact from a timing point of view. So having a bit of a zoom in here on those laps without the pit stops. And here you can see Schumacher a lot quicker after that first pit stop for him. And then Mazepin, once he had that pit stop, just didn't have the same pace advantage, even though he came in on the medium tyre here. Mazepin at the end of the race just really didn't have the pace advantage compared to Schumacher. And so we saw right at the end there, Mazepin much slower those last few laps, which definitely could have been the medium tyre going off, and then also some back marker challenges for him seating to the blue flags. And then moving on to the lap differential, lap by lap, quite a few significant differentials throughout the race here. So Schumacher much slower here on lap 4, but otherwise relatively equal through that first stint. But once Schumacher got that new tyre, much quicker. And then here we saw Mazepin after that pit stop, a little bit quicker, but not nearly the same compared to Schumacher here. Once he got the new hard tyre, and then towards the end we saw Schumacher consistently quicker. And then here, finally, looking at the histogram, Schumacher clearly the quicker driver on the day. More laps in this section here, and then also quite a few more out this 0.6, 0.7, and also this bundle here in between 1 and 1.5, and also the number of laps greater than 2 seconds quicker. So Schumacher definitely quickest on the day, quickest in qualifying. It's pretty consistent for how the whole season's been. So that was the recap for Haas for the 2021 French GP. If you'd like to see more analysis of each team, then hop across to the channel in the playlist, or you can check out the overview videos. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, press subscribe. Any feedback or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section. Thank you.